it's Vandiazzle, back I have another Cardfight Vanguard deck unboxing. Today I have the Altmile Trial deck unboxing that I got for my birthday. And it came with this, a Flash Shield Assault Doral PG, which is really nice. You know, draw triggers are nice, PGs are nice, draw PGs are extremely nice. So we'll build that up in a second, and it came with a special purple sleeve, which is like really comfortable to scratch on. So really good. Okay, onto the trial deck we go. This up like this. Okay, so it comes with like comes with how to start Vanguard if you're starting out with the trial decks, and it comes with a neat playmat, which I will open up now because I'm actually curious of what it looks like. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here. And this is what it looks like. It gives you on the very back like plays to do with the decks and way to upgrade it, and then it has like this nice beautiful field, which I have not seen in forever because I don't use my Vanguard playmats anymore. So that's really good. And now onto the actual deck itself. So then, if it would just come out of the box, that would be helpful. Oh, I have to pull this. As you can see, I haven't done a trial deck unboxing in actually a while, so this is actually the first time for me for a long ass time, so hopefully this goes well. So I'm just gonna slide this little container thing off. Just gotta do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Yeah. So here's the deck. Okay, so let's get this started. First, we've got the shiny cards up front. So we got a Blue Sky Knight Altmile, the Ace Grade 3. So continuous Vanguard or Rear Guard. During your turn, if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, it gets plus 15k. That is pretty much the gimmick of this deck, having no face-up damage and spamming out Grade 2s. Then the second ability, Active Vanguard once per turn, counterblast 1 and discard a card, start your deck for up to 2 Grade 2s, reveal them and put them into your hand. So that's really good. It basically pays a counterblast, which you need to do so you can activate its second skill. So the second ability, which allows you to search for the Grade 2s that you need to pull off combos, and it's basically just a free counterblast, which is awesome, so really good card. Then we've got one shiny version of the Absolute Blade Knight Levaro. Everyone loves this card. I can understand why. It's amazing. So 10k base, 5k shield, auto Vanguard or Rearguard, 1 place from hand, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 Grade 2 that isn't itself, call it to Rearguard circle, and then if you have no face-up damage, you can pay a Soul Blast instead. So that's really good. It gives you a counterblast. And then you can pay the cost with Soul Blast if you have no face-up counterblast, and it can spam out a Grade 2, which is really good. So, and a lot of people actually like to use this in separate decks because it can just be so versatile. It can search anything. It can search Blaster Blade. It can search literally any Grade 2 that isn't itself. Oh, never mind, it can't search itself, so that's really good. So, amazing shiny. Then we've got one more shiny copy of Lunar Crescent Fang Knight Phylax. 5k shield, 8k base. I know they're technically called 4s, but I just like to call them shinies. So auto Vanguard or Rearguard, when it attacks or boosts, Soul Blast 1 and return a Rearguard to hand in another column, and if you do, this unit gets plus 5. So it's a 13k booster or a 13k attacker, so it can hit numbers just by Soul Blasting. So that's really good. It can also get you back guarding power, like you can call down triggers to get other attacks to hit, and then you can bounce it back to hand so that you're not minusing. So really good card. Okay, now onto the actual trial deck. So we've got 3 more copies of Altmile, which makes 4. We've got 3 copies of we got 3 copies of Unite Rest Dragon. So it's an auto Vanguard or Rearguard, Force 1. I mean, you can get Force Gift for the 13k base. When placed from hand, Soul Blast 1, and you may call a Grade 2 or less from your hand to Grade 2 to a Rearguard circle. If you called, you draw a card. So pretty much it's an on place, Soul Blast 1, get a Grade 2 from hand, draw a card. So it's not the best, but it's okay. It can get you a Grade 2 and it can get you a free draw, and it can possibly lead to combos with Levaro. Like you can call this, use its skill, call Levaro, use Levaro's skill after drawing, and then get something else out. But then again, it's not that good. It's good for the trial deck, but not my personal favorite. Next up on the list, we have 3 copies of Levaro. We already went over this card, but like I said earlier, really good. It can get you free Grade 2s, and it can just lead to combos. So we got 4 copies of Levaro now. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Knight of Magnificence Lucas, 10k vanilla. It's a 10k interceptor. That's useful because, you know, this deck counterblast is a bit too much, and it kind of Soul Blast a bit too much as well. So having that just card that's a vanilla with a 10k shield is actually really helpful. It's not the best card in the world, but at the same time, it's not the worst. It's better than Unite Rest, that's all I have to say about it. So 3 copies. 2 copies of Sage of Contemplation, Tendun. 5k shield, 9k base, active rearguard circle once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and this unit gets plus 15k till end of turn. So that's really good. Just by counterblasting 1 and soul blasting 1, which kind of benefits you, because based on damage thing, it gets plus 15. If that was your only counterblast, Altmile becomes a 28k base. So all around, really useful card. It's good. The only thing I have downside is the soul blast, which you might use for Levaro, but to be honest, it's still useful regardless, so 2 copies. Next up, if I can just put these under each other because I have the deck under it. Damn it. Next up, we have 3 copies of the Pioneer Knight Apocatis. So 5k, 10k shield, 8k base, continues rearguard circle. During the battle they attack the Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5 till end of turn. So that's really useful because it just becomes a 11k base, and it could possibly hit the Vanguard. Really good for grade 1 and grade 2 rush. So all around, good card. In this deck you really want to rush your opponent in, so 3 copies. Next up we got 3 copies of Philox. I already went over this, but really good. It can get numbers, it can get bouncing, and it's always good for a rush. And it can always be helpful, so 4 copies. Next up we got 2 copies of our normal PG, Indestructible Knight Arena. So when classic Sentinel, you can only run 4 Sentinels in a deck. Then when placed on guard circle, you can discard a card, and a unit being attacked cannot be hit. And then when placed on Vanguard, draw a card and discard one. So that's really good. You get a free draw, you get a discard. So it's not the worst thing in the world to write this PG. So really good, 2 copies. 1 copy of Melatonin Angel, 10k shield, 6k base, active rearguard circle once per turn, counterblasting 2 to draw a card, and then if you have no face-up damage, you countercharge. So really good, it's just a free out counterblast 2, which gets up most of your counterblast to draw, and then if you really needed the extra counterblast, you get to countercharge, and then you can use Altmile to go to search for grade 2s. So the thing is actually really good. I would suggest more than 1 copy, but 1 copy. There's probably more at the back actually, so who knows. Next up we've got 3 Epinas, 2 full goals, 1 draw PG, which is really nice. So there's like 5 crits, I believe. No, there's supposed to be 7 crits, so the rest are at the back. So we got 1 draw PG, which is really good. It's just like the other one, except it's a draw trigger and you don't have the on-play skill. And I have a second one thanks to that promo rate here. So this little promo over here kind of comes combo with this, so that's really good. We got 3 of the regular draw, being Bringer of Court's Favor Regalia. We've got 3 regular healing Pegasus. Then we've got a quick shield. If you don't know what a quick shield is, it's when your Vanguard, when you ride upon a starter, you draw a card, obviously, and then when your opponent's Vanguard is grade 1 or greater, you can add this from your gift zone to your hand, and it basically is a 5k shield, because you can play it down during the opponent's guard step, and then one of your units gets plus 5k power. So basic until the end of battle, so it's like a 5k shield. And you cannot put it in the main deck, and you only need 1 because you're only going to use it once. Then we've got 1 extra copy of Unite Rest, so there's 4 Unite Rest in the deck. There are 4 Lucas in the deck. There are 3 Tendons in the deck. There are 4 Apocatis in the deck. There are 3 regular Arena in the deck. There are 2 Melodious Angels in the deck. Here's the starter, Shiny Knight Milos, which is basically the when rode upon, draw a card, and if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 1 or greater, you get a quick shield. So that's really nice. It's the card that enables the 5k shield, and it's a really good starter. Then we got the extra Epina and the extra full goals. So I believe there's 4 Epinos, 3 full goals. Here's the extra Regalia. Here is the healing Pegasus, and then the Order, which I don't use and I never will. It is unfortunate that this is the foil, because every trial deck has the chance of giving you something a foil. It's unfortunate that this is my foil card. So Counterblast 2 is a grade 2, so pretty much you can only use these once per turn, and you can only use this if you're a grade 2 or greater. So Counterblast 2, and one of your units gets plus 20 to end of turn. So I guess that's okay. You know, it can give you the counterblast that you need for your abilities to go off, and it can give you a lot of power. It's just that it gets shut down by a PG, and honestly, it kind of like takes up space. Like there are cards that are obviously better than this. And it sucks that this is my forward card. I mean, I'll still use it, but it just sucks that this is my forward card. And then finally, we've got the gifts. We got 3 Force 1s, but then it's double-sided for Force 2. So you don't have to go buy extra copies of cards just to have both Force 2 and Force 1. You got them right here. So that's actually really good. So like if you ever run into the scenario where you want to use Force 2 but all your other gifts are Force 1s, well, you just use these double-sided markers and you're golden. If you don't know what Force 2 does, it basically makes your original critical become 2, but it does not stack. And Force 1 can stack and gives whatever circle it's on plus 10k. Well, that was the deck unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to Patreon, and I will be upgrading this deck as soon as I can. Don't forget to stand up your Vanguard.